All right, good afternoon, everybody. We're going to wait just a few moments here before we get started and give everyone an opportunity to get logged in. I see the quantity ticker steadily rising, so we'll wait just a few moments. See that Heidi has joined us. Hello, Heidi. Hello, Lisa. And Andrew, you could probably go ahead and go to the Adair website. Go ahead and get that screen shared for now. Hello, Brian. Thanks for joining us today. All right, just a few more moments. Hello, Rachel. You're welcome, Rachel. We are glad to be here. Thank you for being grateful. I guess it is the season. We got Thanksgiving coming. You should be grateful for a lot of things, right? Hello from California, Lisa says. Fantastic. All right, about 10 more seconds just to give everyone some time, a little more time to get logged in here. Hello, Phil. See that you've logged in. Okay, I think we're probably good to go here, Andrew. So we're gonna go ahead and just do a little brief introduction. First of all, just thank you for everyone for joining this virtual open house. We are very excited to go through the Livingston floor plan with you today. And I'll introduce myself, and we actually have a special guest here today that I'm excited about too as well. But my name is Justin. I'm a regional sales manager here for Adair. And we also have a couple of people here to help me out here today. We have Andrew, who is a homeownership counselor located in our North Bend, Washington branch. And then we also have Chelsea, who is one of our preferred realtor partners here at Adair. And she is part of John L. Scott, and we'll have her introduce herself here in just a moment. But I just want to let everyone know that we definitely encourage engagement during these calls. You will see a Q&A feature down on the bottom. And the Q&A feature makes it really easy for me to engage with you. If you have any questions as we go through this process, please fire away. We have lots of answers. We'll do our best to get through all of them. But at this point, I think we're good to go to hand this off to Andrew and Chelsea. And Chelsea, let's go to you first. Just like you to introduce yourself and kind of what you would like to really go over here today and what kind of value you can add for our customers.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, I'm Chelsea Jerusalem, and I work with the Happy Home team at John L. Scott, and I've worked with Adair Homes for a number of years now. Originally got connected with them. There's some clients of mine that had big goals of building their own home on their own piece of land, and trying to figure out how to make that happen. They got connected with Adair Homes, realizing that trying to do it from the ground up just on their own was going to be a little bit more work than they wanted to do. So having somebody to help facilitate getting the floor plans put together and all that stuff worked really well for them. And I've had since then the number of clients that we've connected with you for the similar process. Then I myself had an investment property that ended up catching on fire, unfortunately. And with that happening, I ended up with a building lot. So I found myself in a position where I had a piece of land that I needed to find a way to make it turn back into a house again, and made my way to Adair Homes to have a meeting there, and it all came together as being my best possible option on how to make myself whole again after that experience. So, and now we're going to get to tour my finished home, which I'm really excited to have done, and it was amazing watching the whole thing come together, and now it's all really there.
That's fantastic. Great. And Andrew, you're up next, and then I'll give you the steering wheel to drive the ship here.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm Andrew, home ownership counselor, like Justin said, at our East Puget Sound office, which is out in North Bend. We cover most of King County out of this office. and a little bit of far north Pierce. Super excited to have Chelsea here. We've been working together for a number of years. She's always been so helpful in helping people find land, and which is in some ways the toughest part of this process. And she's been a really valuable resource for us. And then to have her actually go through the process and build a house herself with us, that is just now finally getting done. And it's just super exciting that we get to have her join us today, so she can talk to us both as a realtor and as somebody who's built with Adair. And so I think she's going to be a great knowledge and kind of offer us a little different perspective than we usually get during these virtual tours.
Happy to be here.
So we're going to talk about today what Chelsea had built was the Livingston Plan, which is what's been kind of scrolling up on your screen now. For Chelsea, as she mentioned, this was an investment property. It's going to be a rental. I think she'll speak a little bit more on that as we go through today. So as you can see, there's a variety of different exteriors available, and she chose to go with the simplest, the classic exterior. And when you see the pictures of it in person, I think you'll see it looks beautiful, even though it's the simplest elevation that's available in this particular plan.
I did do a minor upgrade on the front of my property where I did wood wrap the windows. So it did give it a little bit more of that aesthetic appeal from the curb appeal versus just the straight basic. So there's a little bit of just that little minor upgrade, I think made a big difference in making it kind of have a little bit more curb appeal.
Great. We'll look at that a little harder when we get back to when we get to look at the actual video of your house. As you can see, it's a really nice floor plan here that people like. So as you look on the website, it's got a nice living room, dining room, nook, and great room. I'm going to show you the actual concepts from Chelsea's plans. So this is what it turns into, and what she gets a chance to look at and approve with any changes and upgrades she made during the process. So what people really find appealing about this plan is you have the formal living room and dining room when you first walk in the front door. And for most people, those are rooms that you don't use a whole lot, maybe on special occasions, but really provides a nice wow factor because they can be left pristine pretty much at all times. Then we have a nice big kitchen with a built-in pantry. Chelsea, we've changed our standards a little bit since Chelsea built with us. When she started, we didn't offer the island as standard, but now a nice big island comes with this plan as part of our standard features.
It makes sense for that space to have an island in there for sure. It's a grand space.
Yeah, it really is, and I think you'll get a better sense of that as we're looking at the video here in a few minutes. Moving upstairs, you'll see a huge walk-in closet in the master bedroom, which is a really nice appeal. Talk to us a little bit about the upstairs, Chelsea. I know that there were some features in the way it was laid out that really appealed to you.
Yeah, but I remember that walk-in closet when it was in framing stages, walking into that box and being like, what bedroom is this? And I was like, nope, this is the master closet. It's like, oh, it feels huge when you're in there in real life. But one thing I really like about this layout for the bedroom setup is that they've got the master bedroom is completely kind of separated from the rest of the bedrooms in the house. So they've got the master suite is fully separated with that walk-in closet and then the guest bathroom. So there's that good buffer between the walls. So there's no connected walls between master suite and any of the guest areas, except for if somebody's partying in the bonus room, but I don't think that's going to happen too often. So, but yeah, it works out really great that way. And all of the bedrooms also are really well sized. You can easily fit a queen size bed in each one of these bedrooms.
Yeah, one of the things that people are also attracted to is that bedroom number 4 has a walk-in closet also, which I think is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a tour. Should we start looking at the actual video?
Why not?
Well, heck. Oh, here we go.
It comes with music.
We need to get rid of that. Sorry about that. Let's back up and try that again. So here's the exterior of the house that Chelsea was mentioning earlier. She's added the exterior trim around the windows. think that's a really nice touch. Also, the colors she chose, I think, are just fantastic. That white really pops with the gray. So
it's a
excellent choice.
peppercorn. Everybody in the neighborhood's been banging on my door asking what color it is. So
Oh, is that right?
yeah, thank you.
So as we come in the front door here, you'll see there's a side light next to the front door, which is a really nice feature. So you see the standard door and hardware in this room. So this is that formal living and dining area that we were talking about. So you can see there's a hanging fixture over here above the dining area. And then she had an upgrade to a laminate flooring, luxury vinyl planking, throughout most of the living area downstairs. To get a sense, look how big those windows are. I think that's a really nice feature in the house. It's all standard sizes, really big, generous spaces on the windows.
I also like how the wall is cut out there by the stairway, so it's not just a straight wall. It has a more open feel.
Yeah, I think that was a really good choice. So we're going to take a look now at the kitchen area. You'll see she has standard appliances in here. The refrigerator is not included, as a standard with Adair, but it comes with a choice of white, black, or stainless steel appliances.
And did you say that the microwave over the stove is a standard option now?
Yeah. So when we made some changes, some time back, where we added some additional features into our homes that are now standard. So one of them is the island. And at the same time, they added some additional can lights in the kitchen and the microwave hood. And so those are all standard features now.
And
so
it's a really good size slider that goes off of that back there too.
Yeah, nice large slider. So this is kind of your everyday eating area, the little nook between the kitchen and the great room. You'll see a look at our standard baseboards here. It's a 2.5-inch architectural that go around the doors as well as the base. One of the things I really like about this house is it gives us the opportunity to show you a lot of standard features, because I think Chelsea did a nice level of upgrades, but it kept a lot of things that just come naturally with the house and there's part of her base price. So without spending a lot of money, she spent wisely and made a beautiful house without spending her life savings, because obviously she's looking at this from an investment standpoint.
Yeah, I had an insurance payout to work with, so I had a very set budget to stay within, and I was trying to make sure to keep some buffers in there, because there's always, you gotta plan for some unexpected things to come up through the process. It's just part of dealing with getting permits and county and different things like that. So I did, make sure to have that buffer in there, which was part of my consultation with you guys, was you guys wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to spend more than I had either. So we made sure we had that buffer in mind. But my main goal was to get something that would be durable as a rental in the future. So that's why I did those, upgraded the flooring throughout the main living area, because that's where everyone's going to be doing the walking around and stuff. And then so I did a lot of more durability upgrades, so things that are going to stand the test of time, that would be worth my investment as a landlord, that I'm not going to want to replace the carpets every 5 years with a new tenant. So those are the types of things that I invested in. But it was, this is a very, very close to standard what I did.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity for a show. I'm going to back up a little bit. So there's a couple of other upgrades we did in the kitchen that I kind of smoothed over a little bit, I think. She did a nice stain, an ebony stain on the kitchen cabinets, which was a small upgrade. And then also you'll notice she has granite countertops. And whoops, went back a little too far. That's all right. We'll take a look again. So she's got the nice ebony counters, or cabinets, I should say, the granite countertop and an undermount kitchen sink. Beautiful looking kitchen. As you can see, it's nice and big. Huge pantry over here in the corner. Unfortunately, we didn't get an interior shot of it, but it's a corner unit, really opens up when you open that door, and it's a beautiful pantry.
That's well laid out. It's a usable space versus I see some pantries where it's just like, what am I going to do with this?
It's a good problem to have, too much space.
Yeah, and there's also that big storage closet underneath the stairs as well, which is right there. So if you needed more to use that for more pantry space or something, but or a coat closet, that space is really big underneath the stairs there.
Oh, nice, nice. And nice look at the great room here. You can see it's still kind of in progress with furniture, but looks fantastic. Get a good idea of what size it is. Again, just generous amount of window space in there, which I think is really nice and really opens the room up even more.
Hey, Andrew, just,
Yes.
yeah, sorry to interrupt, but just a quick question from a customer here from Karen. She's curious to know what comes standard as far as countertops or any other standards there in the kitchen. Could you maybe just touch on that just a bit?
Yeah. So our standard countertops would be a laminate countertop. You have a choice of a bunch of different colors. So it's some people call it Formica, but Formica is technically a brand name, but it's a laminate countertop. And then it would come with subway tile as a backsplash.
Yeah, and I upgraded to the full height backsplash.
Oh yeah, I did not point that out. If we come in here, we're going to take a look at the half bath.
Perfect location right off the garage, like so when you're first getting home from grocery shopping or being stuck in traffic. Right there. Right there. And then it's also kind of, it's not an officially a mudroom, but the laundry room is also right on the other side. So you could come right through the garage and.
Yeah, so just right across the hall from the half bath is the laundry room.
Yep, so if you come home dirty, you can ditch your dirty clothes in the laundry room. And it's a good size laundry room. Those are oversized washer dryer.
Yep, and that shelf will come with it in there. So it's a nice,
Yep.
nice space for laundry. And like you said, a mud room, place to drop your shoes. It's just got some extra room in there.
Mm-hmm.
So we're come back out again, get another kind of overall look at just how huge this area is between the kitchen and that nook and that great room. It feels even much bigger in person, I think.
It really does. It feels much larger in person than it does right here. The videographer is kind of a tall guy, so he's got that like tall person perspective.
Right. We're gonna make a way upstairs with the open half wall there. Were you gonna say something, Justin?
Yeah, I was gonna say those wide camera lenses kind of distort the size of rooms sometimes. So oftentimes things may look a little smaller than they really are.
Yeah, like this feels like a really narrow little stairway, but that's not the case.
So we're going upstairs here. We're going to start with the master. So this is the master wing, as Chelsea was referring to earlier in the conversation.
Yeah, and this bathroom is
take a look
and in charge for sure.
Talk to us about the bathtub, Chelsea. I think that was something that you installed yourself. Is that correct? You had a pre-plumb for it, and then you did the work.
Correct. Yeah, I had soaking tub visions in my mind, and I kind of wanted that. What I had in mind was not what you guys had as an option at that time, but the space was like a perfect space for one of those tubs that you see in all of the HGTV shows. So I got myself one of those, and I have to say I've tested it out, and it's fabulous. but that space right there, it fits perfectly for one of those big soaking tubs.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice touch. Even if you don't use it, it looks beautiful. Another good look at it there.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, we had a question here about window casings and what's available for window wraps.
Oh yeah, well that's a great question. Chelsea opted for what we call a still and apron package. Let me back up here a little bit. I think we can probably see it in the windows here.
Yeah, there was a really good shot of it a minute ago.
So it's the wooden sill with the decorative piece underneath. So that's a less expensive way to upgrade. If you just do standard, it's going to be just wrapped in drywall and textured. So it'll look like the walls basically. Sill and apron is one step, and then you can take it a step further and do full wrapped window encasement where the window's entirely encased with trim work. Gives it more of a finished look. I think the sill and apron's a good sort of in between.
Yeah, I thought that kind of
custom touch that Chelsea did. Whoops.
Oh no.
Try that again. With the vanity.
Oh yeah, I got that separate dual vanity there. Yeah.
Yeah, so she had us again pre-plumb for her to install this herself after the build. I think it looks really nice. It's a nice, elegant touch, but it just gives you a demonstration of the way that we can customize these houses in a number of different ways to fit your tastes. Typically, it would come with cabinets, much like the bathroom, with dual sinks in the master.
Yeah, the standard comes with the cabinets, and then I actually downgraded it to, yeah, it was a weird thing, but it worked out.
Yeah.
The
So
closet is huge, right? It's just
here's the master you can live in. Yeah, it's master closet you can live in. Some extra
I think
shelf.
you might be able to fit a queen size bed in there. And this is just the vinyl flooring that looks like it's like almost the same as that wood plank that I had downstairs. And so it looks very similar. Most people think it's the same thing that I put in all the bathrooms.
Yeah, here's another look at it in this bathroom, right?
Yeah, and that's just the standard countertop there. That's one of those laminate countertops.
Yeah, we had somebody earlier asking me about the standard countertop. So that's an example of what it would look like in the kitchen as well if you didn't upgrade. Subway tile for the backsplash.
Yeah, that's all. I didn't do any upgrades on that one.
Yeah, standard cabinets. Here we're going to bedroom number 2.
Again, it would easily fit a queen size bed in there. I set that one up with 2 twin XL beds, so they're actually bigger than just a standard twin bed. And that's a queen size bed there in bedroom number 2, and the bathroom's like right there, so those are like the easy access to the bathroom rooms. And then there's another little linen closet here on the right hand side, which is perfect for where you want to keep all your toilet papers and stuff. This is the bedroom in the front that has the walk-in closet.
Beautiful. You did a nice job with the furniture, Chelsea. It's looking good.
Threw some stuff in there.
Here's a big bonus room.
It's huge. It's very large.
That's not really, I think if you have kids, it's kind of their own living room. So, the kids can have the upstairs and mom and dad can hang out downstairs, especially as they get older and they're into video games and all that kind of stuff. It's nice to have a separate area to go to.
Yeah, and I believe was that an option to make it as a bedroom as well?
Yeah, you could make it into a bedroom as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically, I think it's larger than the master bedroom, if not the same size. It's a very large room. And I agree, like a lot of people are wanting to watch different shows in the house. So having a room you could be watching your TV and or playing your video games in, and with the door closed is a nice option.
Yeah, I totally agree. Beautiful job again with the colors and just a little more of a look at the outside. Yard got a little destroyed during construction, but I'm sure it'll come back here.
Yeah, landscaping not done yet, but I did add the man door off of the garage to the side there because I have a lot more side yard on that side. So I felt like it makes sense to have access to that also, like if you want to keep your lawnmower in the garage, to be able to pull it out that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I really love this floor plan. I think it works really well for a lot of different lifestyles, different types of living, which is why I chose it. And I agree having this where we're at right here is like you walk into the formal living and dining room, where those are the rooms you can kind of keep clean and pristine and not have to worry about who's opening the door and what they're seeing when they're looking in first look. But then you can have in the back plenty of room to have all of your fun stuff, all your kid toys out and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Very popular floor plan for us. It's 2,830 square feet, and it only takes about a 40 by 40 footprint. So that's one of the reason I think it's so popular is because you can put it on a small lot like you did, or even if it's a little bigger lot, it leaves more yard, especially in urban kind of areas where the lots tend to be a little bit smaller.
Yeah, it offered a really great price per square foot for what I was looking at.
It is. It's definitely one of our lowest price per square foot models. we have any questions coming in, Justin?
Yeah, we've got a couple of here. And Karen was asking about a quartz option. And yes, Karen, we do have granite and quartz available to go along with our laminate options. And there's tons of colors to choose from. And here, Andrew, we have a question here for you in regards to recessed lighting. Is that an option? Can be recessed lighting throughout the house? Is that an additional upgrade?
Yes, it is an additional upgrade. You saw quite a few in surface mounted lights in this particular build. Sometimes people opt to switch those out for can lights, which is an option. Also in the great room, Chelsea added some can lights in there. And I think I mentioned earlier that the can lights in the kitchen are standard.
Yeah.
Since you're just myself question, since you guys are offering that standard, having that kitchen island standard, do you guys have pendant lights over the island, or do you have, what kind of lighting do you have in that area?
That's a great question, Chelsea. Yeah, there's a option for pendant lighting above the counter.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen more and more, like that used to be the standard that people would over the island have those drop down lights, but I think with everybody wanting more of that open feel and open space, I've been seeing more and more builders not have that be in there. So it's nice.
Yeah, exactly. That's the feedback I get a lot too, that customers choose not to do that hanging pendants over the island because they want a more open feel and that sort of. And it doesn't really block your line of sight, but it sort of, I don't know, sets boundaries for your eyes. So it doesn't feel as open.
I have a question here for actually the both of you. How do we go about helping customers find land? So I know there's probably a lot of people out there right now that are out there looking for an existing home. They're getting frustrated. They're not finding what they want. And so they're thinking about doing a home, building a custom house. But really the first step though, right, is to find an available property that's going to work for them. How do we go about finding land or helping customers find land?
That is an excellent question. Land is definitely scarce in our area. I don't know. I mean, I think there's probably more opportunities in maybe other states, with Washington State, with the lakes, streams, rivers, mountains. We have a lot of things that are in the way for us to be able to build on. So with, in wetlands here, there, and everywhere. So we do have limited resource of land. So it is definitely a project to try and find the right piece of property to build on and to make sure that it's not going to have challenges that are going to make it so it doesn't make sense to try and proceed with the project. I think I do a lot of trying to find stuff that's off market because most of the stuff that is on the market is there for a reason still. So I go to stuff that had been maybe in for sale in the past, or it really is like the real-time stuff that's coming on right now. Like there's not a backlog in our area of land. I have some clients right now that they're buying a piece of property that has a house on it that caught on fire. And so they're going to be doing a demo and build on that property. We did find, a lot where somebody has done some subdivision. It's out there, but you really do have to do some work to find it. It's not just readily available resource.
Yeah, in this area in particular, I think in some of the other areas, it's a little more available. And Chelsea's being kind of humble because she's really been a master at finding people property, and people do. It just takes a little more patience and perseverance than sometimes people would expect. It's much like looking for a house. I don't think it's quite as hard as finding a house, especially in the climate right now with bidding wars and all that stuff going on. But it's out there, and people do get their projects going. And Chelsea's just been just a great resource for helping us do that and helping our customers find land and really sort it out and keeping them away from land that's exceptionally challenging and not possible to build on. So we appreciate you, Chelsea.
Thank you. And it's also like, unfortunately, sometimes money needs to be invested in order to determine what can happen on a property, like what will and will not work. And a lot of sellers are not in wanting to invest that money to do that. So it's trying to kind of buffer that with how much is the buyer willing to spend towards determining that, and making sure that we're not overspending and just determining whether a property is building part of things. So trying to figure that out up front before we get committed to a piece of property. It's going to cost us 20 grand to figure out if you can build on it. Let's walk away right now. So some things are worth it. So it's all making sure you're talking to somebody who knows what they're doing. And that's, I think over the years, been able to make those connections with, I've got people in the title realm of things that work in title, that can kind of look at the title for the land and get a kind of a feel from that end of things, what's going to be available and possible as well. So I think just having the conversation with as many people as possible that could be a resource for that land, because some things just don't ever come on the market.
Yeah, with that, we're lucky to have Chelsea because it's hard to find a realtor that's really knowledgeable about land. It's a whole different specialty to, buy or sell a house than it is to deal with land. And so there's not a whole lot of realtors that are willing to take that on. And so
it's definitely a different process, especially if
whether it's in Chelsea's area or not, we have resources available at all of our offices that can help you, find kind of a local expert or two that might be available that can help with the land purchase.
Yeah, I don't work everywhere, but if you need help, I can probably we can find a way to get you connected with somebody who can take care of you.
Yeah, so I'll just kind of piggyback on that. And, for the majority of our customers who come to Adair do not own land as of yet. And, the thought of needing to find property, I don't want that to deter you from being excited about this process. We do have additional resources and ways to help you. And it really could be a fun and enjoyable experience is to go out there and find an available property for you. And Adair does do free property evaluations and go out there to take a look at the property with you. And it really should be a fun and enjoyable experience. And so I don't want the thought of, hey, I don't own any property, this might be difficult. If that's seeping into your brain, just erase it. We're here to help you with that process. And that's what we're all about, is to help you through that and coach you through that process. So, all right, we have another question here from Karen in regards to the master bathroom. So Andrew, maybe a question for both of you. We'll start with Andrew here first. Was this a standard bathroom? Was this upgraded? What kind of options do we have in there?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the flooring in that bathroom is standard. She converted what would normally come where that shower would be a shower over a bathtub. So instead, Chelsea, for just a couple $100, was able to convert the tub shower combo into just the shower, and then we pre-plumbed, and she brought in herself the soaking tub, and then kind of the same thing with the vanity in there. So technically, it was a downgrade from Adair's perspective because we took out the cabinets that would have came standard in there and just provided plumbing for Chelsea to, after the build was complete, bring in her own contractor and put in that fancier vanity that she liked.
Yeah, I had them. They downgraded to just pedestal sinks, which looked really funny when it was first done. But they just put the pedestal sinks in there so that I could pass plumbing inspections and whatnot. And then I pulled those out and stuck in that double vanity that I got from Wayfair. I just had a contractor come pop that in. So
good question.
Yeah,
that's a good question. And then I had a question here around the overall cost of the home. Andrew, would you maybe showing the base price for this house here too as well? And then estimating how much money was spent on upgrades, just a total guesstimate.
Yeah, and our prices do vary somewhat regionally. For the options in this house, we were somewhere in about the $30,000 range for upgrades.
Okay.
And then, the base price of the house is, the one that you see on the screen right now, $264,499 in the East Puget Sound. But our costs, what our costs are vary by region somewhat. And so do the costs. So if you go onto the website, if up here towards the top, there's a build area, and see we have it on East Puget Sound here. So if you click change, a map comes up, and you can change it to the region that you're interested in building in and see the difference in pricing. Okay. It's not a dramatic difference, but you'll see a little bit.
All right. So Andrew, for those of us who are wanting to take the next step, whether we need to find land or maybe we own land already and we want to consider on building a home, what's the very next step for someone in that situation?
Oh yeah, well, the first step is to get an appointment with a home ownership counselor in your build area and just sit down and let us really explain to you one-on-one, you know, the whole process again. So I know you got a little taste of it today, but we really want to make sure that you understand, you know, everything that goes into this and, you know, just figure out if it's a good fit for you or not. And then if it is, we'll advise you on where to go next. But typically the first couple steps are to get pre-approved for lending so you can get your budget established, and then contact Chelsea or somebody like her and start the search for land. So those are your first couple of steps involved.
Okay. Yeah, and Chelsea, let's end with you here, and that is maybe just kind of remind everyone, you know, what value you can provide for potential customers to Adair, for customers who need to find land, and yeah, how can you come in the system with that?
Yeah, thanks. First, thank you guys for letting me be a part of the meeting today. I think that I've really enjoyed working with you guys and being able to help our clients get homes built, and they've all been very excited going through the process. There's a lot of moving parts, so I think that's definitely starting with your homeownership counseling and making sure that that's getting dialed in from that end of things, and then we can get to the fun part of shopping for land and finding the right property and knowing that you got the peace of mind of that free counseling at the front with Adair, that they do come to do the site visit for you, make sure that you're not getting yourself into something that doesn't make sense, because they don't want to, you know, they want to build on the land. They don't want to just have you buy something that's not going to work for you. So it's good to have that team to work together. And I think that that's one of the things that's really great about working with Adair, is that they're part of the process and they want to see you happy at the end of the process and see you be a success, so that you'll be in a webinar too, maybe. As far as what we do, I think understanding the process, being able to help negotiate that, because a lot of sellers don't necessarily understand the process. So explaining to them, you know, this is how much time it's going to take and this is why, and so that they can be excited about your offer when it comes, and excited that you're going to be able to make something happen on the piece of land that they've been holding on to for years and years, probably just thinking maybe someday they would do it and realizing that it's not going to happen. So seeing you take over and getting that dream accomplished is something that oftentimes sellers are excited about too. So I think if you have any questions about the process, there's a million things that we didn't go over today, but it is very exciting. I'm so happy that I was able to work with you guys to get this done. I was never planning on doing it myself, and now that I have, I feel like I've done something that was a really big thing that I never thought I was going to do in life, and also can help other people accomplish that. So if you have any questions or there's anything that we can help with through the process, you can always get a hold of us at happyhometeam.com. Or you can always direct message me. I'm sure we can send out links on how to get a hold of me here. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Thanks, Chelsea, for joining us today. We do appreciate it.
thank you guys so much.
Yeah, and thanks everyone else for joining the call as well. Hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you all later. Have a good one.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.